The issues within Serbia and Kosovo have now exceeded to incredibly dangerous levels. So dangerous to a point that it's starting to get recognized globally. And with these problems on the rise, Declassified has been sent to visit the disputed towns in northern Kosovo to see if a new war might start. Does this mean that all hell could break loose in the Balkans? Well, stick with us to the end to find out how Europe's next war would start in the Balkans. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe before we get into the chilling details of today's video. Kosovo declared its independence from Serbia back in 2008. However, Serbia still makes the mistake of claiming the land as its territory, which seems to be the root of all these problems. Last year, in April of 2023, a dangerous gunfight broke out between Kosovo police and Serb paramilitaries, which had some deeply concerning results. The artillery that was found on the Serb militants started giving hints that maybe even the Serbian government was part of the heinous act. And what do you think the Serbian government did on being questioned about it? They only praised the act. Yeah, you heard that right. Instead of trying to make a peaceful settlement, the Serbian government only hailed the attack as a form of legitimate resistance, which of course only added fuel to the fire. What does all this mean of the situation between Serbia and Kosovo? It is indeed a very tense position for both lands to be in. And it's safe to say that regardless of Serbia's praise of the attack, both Serbia and Kosovo are trembling with fear. This might result in what we know as one of the biggest fights in the area yet. Serbia did not hold itself back by sending soldiers armed with several weapons and guns to the borders of Kosovo. From this, it seems very clear that their attack was more than just an attack, but also a means to maybe invade and conquer Kosovo once again. However, Kosovo has been relying on NATO troops for its protection and support. The NATO troops from the United States have been one of Kosovo's major sources of defense. The crisis only worsened when the United States did not hesitate to sell weapons to Kosovo and arm Kosovo to secure them with ways to defend themselves. Whatever the NATO troops did sure gave Serbia a good old scare, as they didn't remain around the borders and pulled away probably for their safety. Or it could even be one of their cunning moves to come back better prepared than before. With all this going on, what could be the situation in Bosnia and Herzegovina? Let us assure you that these nations remain troubled too. Tensions have been rising between the two lands, which could only cause additional problems to the situation in the Balkans. Peace is slowly being disrupted between the Balkan nations. The land that we refer to as the leader of the Serb majority area, the Republika Srpska, has even threatened to disassociate from the rest of the country and form their own. And you know what they say, united we stand, divided we fall. So what's this going to mean for Serbia? Well, the United States is not much in favor of this idea. Certainly these issues should not be very good for a diverse country that is already separated by different ethnic groups. All of this only points to the chances of fights getting worse. We have a couple more major issues being highlighted further in this video, so here's a gentle reminder to like and subscribe to our channel, and of course to keep watching. Moving on, the Western Balkans have always been an area troubled with numerous issues, but now tensions surrounding this area could get so bad to a point that even all of Europe could be put in danger. Now, we're all aware of the sour history that went down between Serbia and Croatia. Serbia tried to take land from Croatia and Bosnia, obviously to enlarge their country, but Croatia and Bosnia, wanting more independence, refused to submit to Serbia, which led to a war. And what a deadly war that was. This war led to the demise of over 120,000 people and forced millions of residents to evacuate their homes, leave the land, and relocate for their safety. Once again, it was Serbia that used its armies to help and cause horrible wars in Croatia and Bosnia. Croatian Serbs even tried to force drive other groups out of the area, resulting in drastic change in population. Things weren't so pleasant in Bosnia either. A whole civil war broke out among Muslim Bosnians, Catholic Croats, and Orthodox Serbs, which went on long enough to completely ruin peace in Serbia. Finally, in 1995, the war had come to an end thanks to the Dayton Peace Accords, which was a treaty that agreed upon creating a divided Bosnia and Herzegovina. Now the land was divided into two parts, one for the Bosnians and Croats, and one for the Serbs. There were some rules imposed to maintain the sanctity of the Dayton Peace Accords, and they stated that, for Bosnia, no part of the country can break away. This was only so to keep the peace and avoid another war. A high representative was assigned by discussion between several countries to help enforce these rules. This was meant to end the fights and maybe bring peace between those who fought. But this did not sit well with the Bosnians, as it made them feel a lot less like an independent country and more like one that was being operated like a puppet. Following the wars in Bosnia and Croatia, another huge conflict occurred in 1998 in Kosovo, where the ethnic Albanian majority initiated the conflict and the Serbs retaliated. The following year, when the Serbian army drove several Kosovar Albanians out of their homes, NATO decided to intervene and defend them. And this was when the UN had not even permitted them to yet. NATO used air attacks to put an end to the Serbian chaos, which of course did not have a very pleasant outcome. In turn, fighting made almost all Albanians in Kosovo leave their homes. To make sure it didn't continue further, NATO stayed in Kosovo to defend and secure the Albanians and help them return. Several years later, Montenegro chose to become its very own country and separate from Serbia. We may have a hunch that Kosovo doing this without a discussion may have triggered more issues with Serbia. Though Kosovo had the support of several other nations on this, others didn't quite agree with their decision. Countries like Cyprus, Greece, Romania, Slovakia, and Spain weren't in favor of this, as they had the notion that this could turn into issues for their nations. Kosovo, being a country that isn't of the United Nations, has a difficult time being recognized by everyone. Russia, China, and Armenia have already begun facing countless issues due to the conflicts between Serbia and Kosovo. Russia even used Kosovo's situation to justify why it acted in places like Georgia and Crimea. So from all this, we're being serious when we say that this conflict sure affects a lot more than the two independent nations themselves. After the independence of Kosovo from Serbia in 1999, Milorad Dodik, a leader from the Serb area in Bosnia called the Republic of Srpska, decided to take charge of things. According to him, if Kosovo could be independent, then the Serbs in this area should be able to do the same. NATO had different opinions on his stance, and even the United States and other nations agreed that the Republic of Srpska cannot just legally break away like that, as it would only lead to another Cold War, and violence and deaths are definitely not something that these nations need at this point. The Bosnians surely don't want the Republic of the CSA, a Serbia area in Bosnia, to leave and break up Bosnia and Herzegovina. This could even be another reason for them to go to war. Serbia still stays adamant, claiming that all of Kosovo belongs to them, and Milorad Dodik, the leader of the Republic of Srpska, insists that he wants to join Serbia in their movement. He doesn't care what anyone else says. Could he be a troublemaker? Well, it may appear so. The European Union has also made it clear that for Serbia and Kosovo to unite once again, they need their underlying problems to be dealt with first, especially the ones where Serbia refuses to acknowledge Kosovo as an independent. But that just isn't happening because Kosovo doesn't want to give too much authority to ethnic Serbs in the north. Another reason would be that Serbia just would not shut up about it without a deal involving land and people. Things get even more complex when you see that Serbia has some serious military ties with Russia and China. So how is this in any way supposed to end with a Balkan feud? Well, it's only natural that Serbia's purchase of the Chinese military equipment would scare the Western countries and worry them about Serbia's further plans. Whether Serbia and Kosovo might agree to swap land and people is not a major issue here, because this could surely bring calm things between them, but the war in Bosnia seems almost inevitable at this point. If the Serbian region within Bosnia tries to break away, there will not be many ways to stop them, which of course will only worsen the fighting situation. And that's not it either. This very change could cause everything to change, including borders, making a bigger Croatia and of course a bigger Serbia. This might also trigger or encourage other groups to split off. One can only hope that these analyzed predictions do not come true. So what do you think about this? Let us know in the comments. War may or may not be the solution for everything, but there is a chance that 7 new countries might exist soon. And you can find out more about those details right here in this video.